All right. How's it going, everybody? Good, good. Good to see my Central friends. How y'all doing? Central in the house? Okay. All right, all right. And family and friends, and see some old friends and new friends. So it's good to see you here. This is the Delta Culture Center's 2022 Veterans Day program. And basically, we wanted to do this event to honor our veterans, both those who have fallen and even those who have served faithfully in the military. And so with that being said, what better way to open up this program than doing the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you would you all please stand, and we're going to recite the Pledge of Allegiance, and then Tony Crockett and his quintet will take us on with the national anthem. Y'all ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the national anthem. You know, when Francis Scott Key, he wrote the Star Spangled Banner, I think it was about 200 years ago, and he called America the land of the free and the home of the brave. Those words are still true then, and they're still true now. Throughout nation's history, American soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen have bravely answered the call to defend our freedom and to aid our friends and allies and to turn back aggressors. And so we can never fully repay our debt of gratitude to the more than 650,000 American service members who have died in battle, or the 1.4 million who have been wounded. We can, however, recognize and thank the 25 million veterans that are still living today. Do y'all agree with that? Yeah. And so with those words that are inscribed on the Korean War Memorial in Washington, D.C., it says that our nation honors her sons and daughters who answered the call to defend a country they never knew and a people they never met. And those words apply equally to many of our World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and Gulf War veterans, and they apply today in our active duty servicemen and today's veterans as well, who are helping to maintain peace throughout the world. So it's our privilege to say thank you to all of the American veterans and to let them know that we appreciate them for their service and to honor them for their sacrifices. And so with that being said, I'd like to ask that all of the veterans, if you would, please stand up. We would like to recognize you because we know that the price of freedom is high, and we can't afford to forget those who are willing to pay it. And so with that being said, I would now like to ask Cliff Dean, who is our Public Information Officer for the Delta Culture Center, to come up and give us just a brief history of how Veterans Day got started.
Veterans Day is a day of remembrance, and it began on November 11th, 1919. This national holiday was first known as Armistice Day to celebrate the ending of World War I. That date was chosen because fighting ceased on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. Armistice Day officially received its name in the United States in 1926, and it became a national holiday 12 years later. Unfortunately, a new and much bloodier world war broke out only a few years after the holiday was made official. Veterans returning from World War II urged the holiday to be expanded, and the first celebration using the term Veterans Day occurred in Birmingham, Alabama in 1947. Later, U.S. Representative Edward Rees of Kansas proposed a bill that would change Armistice Day to Veterans Day. In 1954, Congress passed the bill that Dwight D. Eisenhower signed into law, proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day. He had served as Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force in Europe during World War II before becoming our nation's 34th president, so he understood the importance of remembering those who had served our nation and sacrificed so much. The following quote is within that proclamation that he signed. "Now, therefore I, Dwight D. Eisenhower, President of the United States, do hereby call upon all of our citizens to observe Thursday, November 11th, 1954 as Veterans Day. On that day, let us solemnly remember the sacrifices of all those who fought so valiantly on the seas, in the air, and on foreign shores to preserve our heritage of freedom. And let us reconsecrate ourselves to the task of promoting and enduring peace so that their efforts shall not have been in vain."
That was Amazing Grace, performed by the quintet featuring Tony Crockett, one of our old friends. We're still trying to kidnap him and keep him back here in Arkansas, even though he keeps trying to go back to Mississippi. All right. With that being said, now we have a special tribute to, or a salute, I should say, to our armed forces. And so we're going to play the theme songs to various military branches. And if you hear your branch, please stand if you would like to, and so we can recognize you. All right, that was awesome. That was awesome. All right, at this time, I'd like to introduce our special speaker. He's somebody I'm vaguely familiar with, but he's Judge Brian Miller, and graduated from Central High School, went to the, the Navy, went to the Navy, initially an officers candidate school, and finished there, and then came back and went to UCA and still graduated before I did. How does that happen? I started college before him, but he still beat me. He still graduated before I did. I guess I was partying too much. But with that, then went to Vanderbilt and got his law degree, and he's now a judge, and we're in the Delta area very proud of him. So with that being said, I'd like if y'all would just give a warm welcome for Judge Brian Miller.
I am going to keep this very short. Let me start by saying that when a future city councilman asks you to come speak, you can't turn it down. Kyle said something, and he says this all the time, because I think he doesn't want to embarrass me. Yes, I went into an officer program in the Navy, but I got kicked out. I went in 17 days after high school. I went out to the Navy, went to boot camp, went to the broadened opportunity for officer selection and training program, good program to send people to the Naval Academy, and I got kicked out. I was having too good of a time. He said he was having a good time in college, but I got kicked out. Went to sea for 3.5 years. Spent 3 years out in the middle of the ocean on a ship, patrolling the ocean. And while I was there, that's when I decided that I was going to come out and work hard and try to do better in life. Now let me say what I learned. And this is something I'd like to say. My fellow veterans will understand this. But everybody here who has never heard this, this is something you need to hear. Right now, as we sit here, there's a man in the Army, there's a Marine, soldier in the Army, there's an airman in the Air Force, there's somebody in the Navy patrolling this earth. In the Navy, the way it works is, as one group of ships moves in, another group of ships moves out. At every point, and every day, every hour in this world, there are military people patrolling right now. Although there's no war for us right now. One of the things that I was shocked to learn is that 25 miles outside the coast of the United States, up and down the Pacific, I was in California, or in the Atlantic, if you're over here in Virginia, there are ships from other countries patrolling up and down our coast, ready to do battle at any time. And our ships are out there making sure they don't do battle. Our ships are 25 miles off their coast, ready to do battle. And every day in the military, you hear about all the yelling and screaming, I'm talking loud now. The reason you are yelled at, the reason you are ordered and bossed around, the reason you are screamed at and the foot is put in your behind every second is so when the time comes to act, you can do your job and nothing can make you sway. Now think about that. Think about having people yelling at you, screaming at you, doing whatever. When the bombs start flying, what are you going to do? Are you going to do your job? What I learned in the Navy, and I will tell you two things. One of the things I learned is that regardless of what's going on around me, I have a job to do. All I can do is my job. Whether somebody yells at me, cuss me out, screams at me, whether somebody else is acting up, whether there are gunshots outside my house, I have to do my job. And I would say to all of you sitting here, any of you who have ever thought about the military, if you want to learn how to get up and do your job and to live your life and to be at the top of whatever you do, any branch of the military will help you get there. Second thing, I learned in the Navy, because they would tell us this, Miller, you go put this projectile, which is a big, bullet, this high, 5 inches. They would tell me, you go put that projectile you take it from here and put it here. And I would wonder, why am I taking the projectile, taking it from here and putting it here? Well, why don't I take it down there where it's going? Well, that's not my job to take it down there where it's going. There's another person who's going to take it from that point to another point. And what happens a lot of times, and this is what I've learned being in leadership now, is a lot of us want to do our job and somebody else's. And a lot of us don't know what the big picture is. There's somebody calling the shots who's set the big picture, and it's for us to do our job. If I were to take that projectile and put it in the wrong spot, then the person who's expecting to pick it up from the right spot wouldn't know where to go, and it would throw everything into chaos. Now, Mayor, I see you sitting here, and I'm going to call you out. That's what's going on down here at City Hall. That's what goes on down in the Quorum Court. We have people who are out of order. That's what goes on in the school systems in Helena, West Helena. That's what goes on all around here. People are out of order. People want to do their job. They want to tell everybody else how to do theirs. They want to do something. They don't want to do what they're supposed to do. That is a problem. And I will tell you, had I never gotten away from Helena, had I never gone in the Navy, Mr. Calhoun, had I never gotten away from here, I would not have realized just how out of order we are. And so I will tell you, when you leave here today, if you don't remember anything I said standing here today, you students, whether you're down here or whether you're over here, all you students, when you are having a bad day, when your mother and father are telling you off, when you have too much homework, when you can't do the things you want to do, remember there's somebody out there. There's somebody out there who's protecting you. There's somebody out there who has it 10 times worse than you do, and they're not complaining. And those are your military members. And I will say to my 2 military members who are here, and is there any other veterans here? I know we had 2 stood up over here. Let me tell you, I salute you, I thank you, and I'll tell you right now that I don't think people understand the hell you went through because they've never gone through it. But all of us who've gone through it, when you've been on that watch at 2 in the morning and you want to go to sleep and it's cold, but you know somebody's out there trying to harm your country and you're standing that line, only you understand that. But I ask all you young people, when you leave here today and when you have a bad day, think that your day is not nearly as bad as those people who are out there protecting you. And when you see these veterans out here in the street, just say thank you. And with that said, I'll sit down.
All right, thank you so much, Judge. I see we still have some KIPP students. Y'all come on in. We got plenty of room. This is a big old stage. We have about 100 folks up here for King Biscuit. We can definitely have some students up here for Veterans Day. Come on. Y'all are important to us. Amen. Good to see y'all. Good to see you. Glad y'all were able to make it. I know some of y'all just got out of class, and we appreciate you for coming. It means a lot to us. So thank you. Right now, I'd like for us all to stand. We're going to do a recognition of our fallen soldiers as we play, as the quintet plays taps. So as we bring this program to a close, you all can be seated. As we bring this program to a close, I would like our mayor to have a few words. Mayor Smith, have you come and greet the people and share something?
You know, the MC never gets the credit, and they do most of the work. Let's give Kyle Miller and Dr. Kyle Miller and the Delta Cultural Center a round of applause. And everybody else in our band, give them a round of applause. Remarkable. I'll just say this, how impressed I am with this ceremony and this service and the comments that were made, and that the students are here, and before that, the other folks, and looking out here in the November 11th on Veterans Day, I'm really proud of y'all, and I'm proud of our community, and I'm proud that we recognize in such a wonderful way, such an important day in our city. And that's really all I have to say, but that's not everything has to be a lot of words. That's a pretty powerful thing to say. We got a wonderful city to do this in, a wonderful place, and wonderful people to do it. And thank you again to the State of Arkansas, the Delta Cultural Center, the band, all the participants, Judge Miller, everybody who participated, and all the students for coming out. This has been a wonderful event, and so many people think, well, nobody will show up. Look at this. We got a full house. Thank y'all very much.
All right. So this concludes our, I was about to say our service. You know, I'm a preacher too. So, but this concludes our program. At the conclusion, we've got refreshments. So kids, y'all please, and adults alike, we've got sodas and cookies and stuff. Please enjoy. We've got plenty. So we'd like you to enjoy in the refreshments as well. And so to close out, we thought what would be better fitting than to end with God Bless America. So if everyone would please stand, if you'd like to sing along, you can. All right, everybody have a great afternoon. Thank you for coming.